Squarespace for sponsoring this video. As per the previous video, you now know that I bought 110 acres of Australian bushland. And now I'm in the process of trying to figure out whether I can actually live in harmony with it without destroying it or myself. So the first question might be, this does not look like NEILA. Well, this munchkin, its name is Turtle because it carries my life with me. I needed a car that's my daily driver, as well as being able to sleep somewhere whilst everything is happening. And so this is it, and I could not be happier. And as for NEILA, she is in storage, she is safe and sound, but she has some big plans for next year. Yeah, NEILA's not a daily driver. That is a crazy idea. She's definitely meant for the big outdoors. And so Turtle came in the most beautiful way. I accidentally was driving past and I saw this secondhand long wheelbase Toyota. So I've got another Toyota in my hands, and it's got 245,000 Ks on the odometer. So it's definitely been around the place, and she just brings me a lot of joy. It's definitely a minimalist dream. I wanted to spend the day today with you guys just showing you what a version of my days do look like these days. Now, of course, not all of them look like this. Slowly doing yoga in the morning, how beautiful. Yoga is my only option for working out right now, as I am waiting for some very fun exercise equipment to come my way. I can't wait to show you what that is. It's definitely much more aligned with my preferences, but for now, I do what I can, and some mindfulness goes a long way. Cooking outside brings me so much joy that I already know I'll end up with an outdoor kitchen one day, but for now the little barbecue has to do the job. I also just recently upgraded to this giant 12-volt fridge which is powered by the sun. I have yet to decide if this is a worthwhile purchase because it was pretty expensive to get it all installed, but needless, it definitely brought me a lot of joy having an actual freezer. Yeah, this is all an experiment. I have no idea what it's like living off-grid. I've never done this before. I am just kind of intrigued right now to see what it's like to be self-sufficient, surrounded by nature. There's something sexy about that. And maybe it's just a natural trajectory moving out of a car into an off-grid situation. But it seems that a lot of people are doing this, so it's not necessarily like a wow factor. And there must be a reason for it. But I don't yet know if it's cheaper to do it this way. And I also don't know if this whole thing is just going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Being so self-sufficient. It's an experiment, and I think people get really stuck on having to do things or labeling themselves. I don't know. I also really like fancy, luxurious things, so this is just a test. We'll see what happens. So you guys, you and me are both on the journey of discovering all together, and I'll report back as honestly as I possibly can. Excuse the mess, but this is actually how life is right now. I've been having this weird concoction lately, and oh my God, I love it so much. I can say that due to this unconventional lifestyle, where there's not as much convenience as city living, for example, it does take a lot longer to do certain things, and you have to do random tasks like this every day. But there's something kind of meditative about it. That sound that you're hearing, that's just the pump working. We got installed, finally, reverse osmosis water that also has a remineralizer on it. I was one of those ning-nings that thought that having tank water meant like it's really good and healthy. There's so many bacteria in tank water. I'm so grateful for having delicious, that's remineralized with like magnesium and all other really nice goodies. So I feel very healthy and good for it. There is a runoff that comes off, and got to put it back into the tanks because we don't want to run out of water at any point in time. It's been about a week since I've chopped down the vines at the back. Let's go see if it worked. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes to get to where I'm going each way by foot, so I might as well just take the lawnmower and mow while I'm at it. I don't want you to die! I'm making it worse. Slow down. I made it worse. It was all very dramatic and it was really upsetting. I don't know if I should be interfering with nature, but I think because of the mower, I scared it and it went into the spider web and therefore I was responsible. So did I help it? Did I not? I'm not sure. It had a little bit of spider web on its wings when it flew off. I hope it makes it. Oh man, I get so attached to these animals. Like there's wallabies that come and feed off our land and they're like, that's their area. And there's been 3 in the last week that have been hit just outside of the property. And I'm wondering if they were like the ones that came and visited us. And there's also one wallaby that I'm really attached to. Her name is Mama. She's been here from the start. If she gets hit, I'm going to be distraught. This stuff is stressful. Like you fall in love with the land and everything that occupies it. But it's okay. Compose myself. Okay. It's working so well. Oh, it's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. Really easy to spot now the vines that I had missed, so I'm just going to chop down a couple more. Thank you so much for all the comments that told me that I need to get safety gear, the glasses and the gloves. I appreciate that a lot. I at first was like, it's such a tiny chainsaw, it doesn't really matter. And then just yesterday, before I even read any of your comments, my dude actually put the chainsaw on his finger. Luckily, nothing happened too badly. He'd been using a chainsaw very regularly since he was 15, and this was his very, very first incident. And I was even thinking to myself, I think this little chainsaw feels a bit like a toy, but apparently it's the most dangerous one because you just do think that it's not going to do any damage, but it's still a chainsaw. So I will be a lot more careful now. Considering this is my first rodeo, I really am learning from the ground up. So thank you. Today I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed because one of you in the comments said that you were shocked that there's not really many invasive species. You've worked in conservation for like 5 years and this is a very, very rare piece of land, and I agree with that. I'm just getting a little overwhelmed with starting to see weeds come up, and I don't know how I'm going to stay on top of it because it's so much land. I will still get a prescribed burn done probably this coming winter, try to gain control of everything again and get rid of all the fuel that's on the ground. God, wish me luck. I'm really overwhelmed today. I'm going to see how I go without poisoning these vines and see if I can manage them just naturally. I don't really want to be introducing poisons onto my land. I'd like to keep it really, really natural because I just don't know what that effect has. And also, considering it's right next to the creek, nah, I'm going to have to do it naturally. Also, for those wondering, this lawnmower came with the land. I had never mowed the lawn previously, ever in my life, until jumping on this lawnmower. It's so fun. Why did no one tell me how fun mowing lawns is? I want to do it all the time. I want to show you something. This is the most special part of the land, by far. This paperbark forest. I feel so good to be here. I only come here when I'm feeling like I can be in reverence and I can be of service to this land, because I stand here and I feel like I'm in the presence of very, very special beings. And the very first time I stood here, I felt that way. And then I found out that the previous owners, who had Indigenous blood and Indigenous connections, said that everybody that came onto the land agreed that this is very, very, very sacred and very special. So I was just weeding on the other side and it came through into this section. And exactly then I just had goosebumps after goosebumps after goosebumps, and it wouldn't stop, and it just felt like I was being recharged and zapped with like this beautiful energy. And I'm just like, thank you so much. There's so much more beyond the physical realm, isn't there? Oh, it's so special. Wild. I just cannot find that much lantana. Found a little cucumber. Like I actually have to go hunting for it, which if you're Australian, you know how bad lantana is. It's so hard to spot it. Yes. I just found this deep in the bushes when I was looking for weeds. What is it? Look at that. If you know, please let me know.
What for?
going through some prompts, end of year reflection prompts that my buddy Andre from Know Thyself, he has made a little list. So I'll link it down below if you're interested. There's also a playlist to go along with it. Highly recommend it. There's just a bunch of questions. So it's nice to be able to look back on the end of the year and just see how the year has unfolded. Just to also think up some plans for what this land will look like and what its purpose is, housing people in tiny homes perhaps, seeing what is allowed with the Australian government, what is not allowed, planning out where the food will go and how I can make sure that it is self-sufficient, because this land is definitely going to be a place that I will be leaving still. Once a nomad, always a nomad, and I wanted it to be low maintenance so I can just disappear, because I know that's me and it's my blood. So it's been really nice to sit down and just reflect back on my intentions for the coming year and what that might look like. Of course, we can't fully plan, but it's nice to dream. How do you feel now that it's the end of the year and going into the next year? Any intentions, thoughts? Would love to read them. Your comments are the best. It's almost embarrassing how much I love, adore this part of the day when I get to set up my van for the evening. It is the coziest place to fall asleep in. I have my Shakti mat to de-stress at the end of the day. I have my red light on, taking out all the blue light. I read and then I just drift off to sleep. Such a comfortable bed. 6 o'clock. Okay, another 2 to 3 hours awake. Okay, I can do this, but I just want to go to sleep right now in my little cozy nook. Good night, guys. No, okay, dinner time. And so these are kind of my days, as I am learning to live on this off-grid piece of land, and it will be so nice one day to look back and see this as the very beginning of this journey. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, but now I really want to thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Squarespace is a magnificent tool for business owners and artists like myself to create a beautiful online presence that actually gets results. There is Design Intelligence. Introducing Design Intelligence from Squarespace, combining 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise with cutting-edge AI technology to unlock your strongest creative potential. Design Intelligence empowers anyone to build a beautiful, more personalized website tailored to their unique needs and craft a bespoke digital identity to use across one's entire online presence. Squarespace Payments. Squarespace Payments is the easiest way to manage your payments in one place. With Squarespace, onboarding is fast and simple. Get started with just a few clicks and start receiving payments right away. Plus, give your customers more ways to pay with popular methods like these ones. There's a lot. Sell content. Squarespace makes it easy to sell access to content on your website, like online courses, blogs, videos, and memberships, and recurring revenue by gating your content behind the paywall. Simply set the price and choose whether to charge a one-time fee or a subscription for access. And these are just some of the amazing features of Squarespace. There's plenty more. If you'd like to find out more for yourself, go to squarespace.com, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Sorelle to get 10% off your first website or domain. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.